Welcome back to another week of the 13 Sports Coaches Show. I'm Katie Marr. This week joined by Washburn Rural boys basketball coach Alex Hutchins. Coach, thanks for talking with me this week.
Yeah, glad to be on. Thanks for having me.
Well, you guys are coming off a pretty big win, clinching the Centennial League title on Friday night. Just what does it mean to get that nod before the season's even over? Get it going undefeated in league play so far.
It feels good to clinch it with games remaining. I think it just kind of speaks to this group's consistency and they've just been really, I mean, even if you go all the way back to the summer, just our attendance and work ethic and attention to detail and stuff have been pretty darn consistent. And so I just think that that's kind of what shows up. But at the same time, we don't want to rest on it too much. With 2 games left, we'd really like to finish it off right and get those last 2 league games as well.
Yeah, you talk about, all the work put in since the summer. Did you have a sense early before the season started that this group could be really good?
Yeah, we finished the year strong last year. I think that maybe if you looked at our record last year, that could lull you to sleep or make you think that we weren't capable of being one of the better teams. But we also started the year 0-6 last year with a bunch of injuries and illness and stuff. And so, you always have to have things break your way. And so far we've been pretty healthy and had everyone most nights. And so, yeah, it's crazy how much that plays in. That's what got us last year. And, even you just look within the league this year, Junction City has had, they kind of had a second half of January from hell with injuries and people being gone and stuff. And so, sometimes that's all it really is just who was able to run out their team the most consistently throughout the year. And so far we've been able to do that.
Yeah, and leading the way for you guys have been your 3 seniors. That's King Leonard, Amari Jones, and Caden Ballard. Just talk about their leadership and how you've seen them step up on the court this season.
Yeah, 3 seniors and 3 captains, and we don't just nominate seniors just because they are that. Their teams elect or the teammates elect them as captains, and those 3 guys. Since I got here the summer before their sophomore year, and so that was kind of the beginning of their varsity experience, and they've, like I said, just been consistent and dependable. Those are 3 guys that don't miss anything in the summer. They're at weights and workouts every single day. And yeah, what you're getting from them. They're going to work hard and be there every day and not the most vocal group. We've had leaders who talk more than these guys do. But you never question what you're getting with those guys. And so again, just kind of a picture of stability and consistency. And so that's a really good place to start when you've got 3 guards who have the ball in their hands as much as those guys do and are as dependable and trustworthy. Yeah, as a coach, it definitely gives you some comfort heading into every game.
Yeah, and 2 of them are going to continue their athletic careers at Washburn, staying local. King's obviously going to play football, but Caden playing basketball with his dad. Just how cool is it seeing your kids stay local to this area and continue to produce for, the local D2 school?
Yeah, selfishly, it's awesome. I'm excited that they get to continue to pursue that, but I get to still probably see them more often and get to go watch them do their thing. With some of these guys, Jack Batchelor and JC Heim and some of these recently graduated guys that I have been fortunate enough to coach. Getting to see them do their thing and perform on the next level, but it's only a 15-minute drive across town. That's pretty awesome. And so, really excited about that. And yeah, excited too that, they're part of programs that are so welcoming and accommodating to us high school coaches in town, letting us come watch practices and games and stuff and taking care of us local coaches. And so, yeah, that's exciting. And, we're excited for Amari too. He's had some offers roll in lately and going to have the opportunity to go somewhere and play. We hasn't decided yet where, but it's just, yeah, it's 3 kids that they're ready. Like I said, they're mature and ready to perform at the next level.
Yeah, and you brought up Jack Batchelor. I know you only got to coach him for the 1 year when he was at Rural, but now as a sophomore, one of the best point guards in the nation. He's in the top 25 watch list for Player of the Year type awards in D2. Just what kind of example has he set for kids at Rural right now?
Yeah. You say his name and I just kind of start laughing and smiling. Jack left quite the imprint here at Washburn Rural, and I talk about him a lot, and I think that the guys here probably get annoyed with me for talking about him as much as I do. And it's never about, how good of shooter he was or how many points he scored or games that he won, anything like that. I don't know that I've been around very many people that are as competitive as Jack. And he was not even in my PE class as a senior. He was just a teacher aide for my PE class. So technically speaking, he could have sat on the side and looked at his phone and did nothing. And instead, he was participating pretty much every single day in my PE class, going harder than everybody else in the class, trying to win and cheat and scrap and claw and do whatever he had to do to win. And so, him just having that mindset and being so competitive, I think it set an incredible example for our guys. And then, going to the next level and making such an immediate impact. And I think largely due to the fact that he is so competitive that he's willing to, absorb any coaching and take any bit of knowledge he can and try to find a way to be effective. I think that's awesome for any kid to see, let alone Washburn Rural kids. That if you work hard enough and you're competitive enough, there are ways to find an edge anywhere, and I think Jack's a great example of that.
Yeah, and I know a few weeks back, I was at one of your Friday night games, and he was there as well. Got a big moment announced by the PA guy, and it's a common theme I've noticed. Like kids from Washburn Rural who have gone to Washburn, come back to these games still and cheer them on. Just in your few years at Rural, what does that say about the community, the sense of community there?
Yeah, it's special. And I think one of the coolest things about Washburn Rural is just that those high expectations and the big time programs and the alumni going on to do big things, it's everywhere. There's not really a program or a sport in our school that isn't performing at the highest level. And so I think it's awesome for kids to be in this environment where they're surrounded by people who have high expectations and are committed to their craft. And so yeah, it's awesome. It's special to be around, and yeah, you get to be around a lot of great kids and even more so great families. None of it's possible without the support from the parents and the families. And I'm biased, obviously, but I think we have the best. I really do think that if there was one thing that you said kind of sets Washburn Rural apart, it's our families and our parents. They are willing to do whatever it is that we ask them to do to help their kids. And so, yeah, we're very very lucky to have that.
Yeah, and you guys got 2 games left in the regular season now. You said your goal is just go 2-0 in them, but what do you want to see out of your team in these final 2 games to really set you guys into the playoffs on the right foot?
Yeah, attention to detail is really the biggest thing with everything, how we're executing our stuff. Attention to detail with the scout. But I mean, then even if the attention to detail isn't where we want it to be, we've just got to continue to guard. I think that's the biggest thing is you want to feel confident in your defense going into the postseason. You want to be able to win on an off night and find a way to win if the shots aren't falling when you want them to. And so you're going to have to get stops and force some turnovers. And so really, I think that's the biggest thing is make sure we're tuned into some details, but more than anything, make sure we finish the year guarding.
Yeah, and you guys are in 6A. It's no piece of cake getting through that in sub-state and then state if you make it. What do you think will set this team apart when it comes to the playoffs that can allow you guys to advance?
Yeah, I think if we're going to have a chance to make any sort of run at all in the postseason, it's going to be just due to the fact that we are so balanced and have so many different guys that are capable of doing different things on different nights. We've got a lot of different guys that can shoot. We got a lot of different guys that can handle. We have no different guys who are big, and so we're we're what might be a disadvantage in some matchups, definitely with the lack of size. Also, we kind of view as an advantage in a sense because we have so many pieces that are kind of interchangeable and can do different things for us any given night.
Yeah, and not only do you have the three seniors, but you have a few juniors who have been stepping up big. I think of Simon Rowley, John Hoytel. How does it is it a little bit of a confidence boost that you have guys who have this starting experience into next year to set you guys up for more success in the future?
Yeah. A big senior class is always a luxury because they've kind of been there, done that, and are comfortable. But at the same time, yeah, as a coach who's hoping to keep the success rolling, yeah, it'd be about ideal to have your lineup kind of bit by bit, two or three pieces from each class contributing, so that way it will continue. And so, yeah, we have a few juniors that are already making an impact now. You said Simon and John have been great for us. And then Drayden Chencharin, he's a junior who, for 2 years now has came off the bench, but basically played like a starter for us. And then, we've got some younger guys too, another junior and a handful of sophomores who are chomping at the bit. And, even lately have kind of started taking it to some of the older guys in practice and trying to get some opportunities. And so, yeah, we're very excited about the senior group and want to finish it right. But at the same time, we do think there's some stuff to be excited about in the future too.
Yeah. How confident do your guys feel about the postseason and their ability to make an impact there?
It's a good question. We don't really talk about it. So when the time comes, I think we've got a confident group and we're gonna, scrap and claw and fight and do whatever we can. But we're just kind of focused with what's right in front of us. There's lots of seeds that are moving in 6A, and so you can't really focus on one opponent or what that looks like because it could change, any given night. And it doesn't really matter who we end up matching up with in the postseason. It's going to be very difficult. And so, yeah, we actually haven't said a word about postseason. We're just focused on the next game. And so, yeah, we're probably going to keep it that way.
Yeah. Do you kind of tell your guys like seating doesn't matter when you're in a bracket as loaded as 6A can be?
Yeah. Yeah, we just play the game that's in front of us. We play some really good teams, from Kansas City during the regular season and go down to Pittsburgh and see some teams from Missouri and Oklahoma that really push us. And so we know in order to make a run, we're going to have to beat a special team. And it's probably going to take a really great night from us, regardless of where it happens and regardless of who it's against. And so the focus is always just kind of on us and cleaning up as much as we can about what we're doing and just try to make sure that we're performing at the highest level.
Yeah, and final question, you've talked a bit about, the different strengths in this team. If you had to pick one that you think just sets this team apart and it's your biggest strength or secret weapon or whatever, what would that be?
Um, I do. I think it's the balance and the versatility, the fact that we have, four, five, six different guys that could be our leading scorer on any given night. I think that that's kind of the superpower of this group. And when they share the ball and play the right way, I think it's pretty evident because, yeah, about every night we have about four guys in double figures. And so I think that that's pretty special.